Hello there, a very good evening and welcome to another edition of Primetime News on TV1. I'm Charlene Benedict for the Newsfirst team.
And I'm Thiruni Karunaratna. Before we head on to your stories in detail, first your headlines.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Valuable Finance was awarded the Best Finance Company for the third consecutive year.
Buddhists celebrate Vesak, commemorating the birth, enlightenment and passing of the Buddha. Sirasa Vesak zone opens to the public. Sarvagnya and Agrashravaka relics exposition also opened. Presidential election to come first. Minister Bandula elaborates on President's message to Cabinet. Strong wind and rough seas. Warning issued for Sri Lanka. Raisi laid to rest in his hometown. Iranians throng last rites ceremony.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
Valuable Finance was awarded the Best Finance Company for the third consecutive year.
The lights embedded in the pandal depicting the Kattari Jatakaya at the Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone was illuminated this evening. The ceremony to light up the pandal was presided over by Venerable Banagala Upathisathera.
Senior management of the Capital Maharaja Group were present for the lighting up of the pandal, along with Venerable Banagala Upathisathero. The Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone was officially declared open by the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha.
Well, first of all, let me convey my greetings to the Sri Lankans for a very happy, peaceful, prosperous Vesak and Buddha Purnima, by the way, which we are celebrating also in India. This is something that we celebrate together in India and in Sri Lanka. If you go today to the Indian television channels, they would all be talking about Mahatma Buddha, the Lord Buddha in English, but it is something that is very intrinsic to our values. Buddhism in many ways defines us as what we are as Indians and Sri Lankans today. So this is something that really binds us, and the fact that we celebrate itself is such a force for us to keep working to strengthen our bonds, deepen our bonds, widen our bonds.
The Sarvagnya relics from the historic Kuragala Raja Mahaviharaya were moved to the Kalaniya Raja Mahaviharaya on Wednesday night. On Thursday morning, the motorcade carrying the sacred Sarvagnya relics passed the Angura Junction, Kwaswatta, Rajagiriya, Senanayaka Junction, the Nelumpokuna Theatre and Vihara Mahadevi Park before reaching the Sirasa Vesak zone located at Braybrook Street in Colombo 2 in the afternoon.
The Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone is indeed a chapter that brought about a new culture in Sri Lankan history. It has allowed us to go back in time and also allowed hundreds of thousands of devotees to witness the sacred relics. I would like to thank and appreciate all those who were involved in creating this Vesak zone, which is a meritorious deed.
At the same time, the sacred Agrashravaka relics of Sariputta and Mogallana, placed at the Maliga Khanda Agrashravaka temple, were also moved to the Sirasa Vesak zone in a motorcade. After the sacred Sarvagnya and Agrashravaka relics were moved to the Vesak zone, it was open to the general public. Today is a very special day, and this festival is one we engage with annually.
Over the past 13 years, the sacred Agrashravaka relics of Sariputta and Mugallana are placed at the Sirasa Namami Vesak zone, allowing hundreds of thousands of devotees to pay their respects. Starting today, for a period of 4 days, the Sirasa Vesak zone will take place at these premises. We invite everyone who has joined hands with Sirasa TV to visit this Vesak zone. The relics exposition is specially made for the devotees. We anticipate your presence at this event. The late R. Rajamahendran, who initiated the Sirasa Vesak zone, had a vision. He always told us that we have a responsibility. That responsibility is to ensure the message of the Dhamma and its vision is spread to the people on Vesak Poya Day. He told us that we, as a media network, have that responsibility. The light of the Dhamma can never be covered. The people who visited Mihintalaya, Yugadanava, Mahianganaya, Devinuara, Mathale, Aluviharaya, Anuradhapura, Jayashri Mahabodhiya, Yapahua and Nagaviharaya are well aware of the Sirasa media's commitment towards the Dhamma. The Sirasa Vesak zone is the fruit of those efforts.
අපේ ධර්මයට දක්වන කැපවීම. ඒ වෙහෙස ඒ කැපවීමේ කුට ප්‍රාප්තිය තමයි අද මෙතන අපි අත්විඳින්නේ.
The relics exposition will be open to the public today and tomorrow at the Sirasa Vesak zone. During the 4 days commencing today, the Sirasa Vesak zone will feature a pandal depicting the Kattari Jatakaya. As you wander the lantern-lit streets, allow your senses to dance with wonder. The delicate glow of lanterns casts ethereal patterns, while puppetry weaves tales of virtue and awakening. Devotional melodies will also bring life to the Sirasa Vesak zone. But there is more. A revelation unveiled for the first time. The Department of Archaeology curates a special exhibition where relics unearthed during excavations at the sacred Anula Chetya in Mihinthale will be on display. These include a sword as well as clay pots, clay chests and other artifacts excavated from the depths of the Nilagiri Dagaba. And there, bathed in reverence, stand the replicas of Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, Thara Devagana and Maitri Bodhisattva, silent emissaries from distant epochs. Devotees from all parts of Sri Lanka visiting the Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone to pay reverence to the sacred relics and enjoy the Vesak celebrations.
Let's now cross over to Newsfirst Hashini Patirana, who is standing by at the Sirasa Vesak zone with more details.
Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone is currently taking place at the Breakbrook Place in Colombo 2. Now, what significance does this event hold? Vesak is not just a festival that's bound to Sri Lanka, but it is also celebrated by all Buddhists across the globe. Vesak also commemorates the three main points of Buddha's life, which is his birth, his enlightenment and his parinibbana. Now, Vesak also commemorates his great teachings of Dhamma, which the world is living by. So, Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone is here to entangle all that teachings of Buddha and bring to you the sacred Sarvajna relics of the Lord Buddha, where it is residing at the MBC MTV head office premises, and the Sarvajna relics along with Agrashravaka relics, which are the relics of the two disciples of Buddha, who is Sariyut and Mahamoggallana. So these relics are residing at Breakbrook Place, Colombo 2, for people to come and worship, pay their respect, their reverence and their homage. Now this could be once in a lifetime opportunity for some of you. This could be the very first time that you witness these relics of the Buddha and the Agrashravaka. So these relics are residing at Sirasa Namami Sirasa Vesak zone today and tomorrow, and you can come and pay your respect, your reverence to these relics today and tomorrow. Now, along with this, we have some Vesak lanterns and pandals and dansals happening in the zone, so do come visit them as well. And another very significant event is taking place here at the zone, where the Department of Archaeology is exhibiting some rare findings that was found from the Mikintale archaeological site. Now, these are also getting exhibited for the very first time. So once you're here to pay your respect to the relics, do not forget to go and visit these rare findings that is at the Department of Archaeology tent, which is inside the zone. So along with all these relics and the rare findings, do visit the Vesak zone today and tomorrow. Do not miss this opportunity. Make your way towards Breakbrook Place, Colombo 2, and witness these rare findings and these relics, which could be a very rare opportunity for all of you.
The Sirasa Namami Poya Day events took place centering the Maliga Kanda Mahabodhi Agrashravaka Temple and the Kuragala Rajamahaviharaya.
The Poya Day program commenced following Atasil observances at the Maliga Kanda Mahabodhi Agrashravaka Temple. Thereafter, Venerable Banagal Upatisathero presided over the Vihara Asana program. The Sirasa Damsara program was presided over by Venerable Ambulugala Sumangala Thero. The program at the Kuragala Rajamahavihara commenced following an offering to the Sarvajna relics placed at the Asadisa Shakya Sugata Sugandha platform. The ritual was performed by Venerable Ratmalavinne Chandajoti Thero. Thereafter, the Kuragala Sacred Grounds program commenced, centering on the history of the temple premises, its present status and the Vesak zone. Venerable Imbulpe Vijitavangsha Thero and National Youth Services Council Chairman Pasindu Gunaratna were present for the event.
Vesak is the most sacred day to millions of Buddhists around the world.
Because it was on a day like Vesak, which is today, that Lord Buddha was born, attained enlightenment and also passed away.
Buddhists celebrate Vesak by attending various religious events, and this year marks the 2568th Vesak festival.
Siddhartha Bodhisattva resided in the divine realm, and he was extended an invitation urging him to descend and fulfill his destiny as a Buddha, dedicated to the welfare of all beings. Prince Siddhartha, or the Buddha, thought of the right time, right area, right continent, right caste and right mother for the final birth. Then, as any Buddhist knows, the fully mindful divine being entered the womb of Queen Mahamaya. A prince was born on a Vesak Poya day to the Queen and King Suddhodana, and was named Siddhartha, the one who has found the meaning of existence. Gautama Buddha was trained in various mental skills under many teachers, only to get disillusioned that they did not have the truth he looked for. The right way to achieve the truth dawned on him one day. He directed his mind in the path of meditation. Moments later, he reached enlightenment and conquered the world of sorrows on Vesak Poya Day. According to the Buddhist history, Buddha's third visit to Sri Lanka also took place on a Vesak full moon Poya Day, where he marked his footprint on the summit of a mountain. The chronicles claim that Prince Vijaya and his entourage arrived in Sri Lanka on a Vesak Poya Day. The Mahasangha, representing the three main Buddhist sects in the country, issued their messages for Vesak.
I wish to remind all Sri Lankans to adjust their lifestyle as per the teachings of Lord Buddha's Dhamma on this Vesak Poya Day. I also pray that all their wishes will be realized and bless everyone on this Vesak Poya Day.
Humanity is what is important, Humanity is what is most important. In the absence of humanity, we witness heartless people. Therefore, it is paramount for us to be in search of humanity in this country. Above all else, we need to build humanity. This is vital during this Vesak Poya. Lord Buddha preached that there will be no rebirth after this. Therefore, Vesak is a time for reflection as well.
කල්පනා කළ යුතු දිනේ තමයි වෙසක් දිනේ.
ප්‍රතිපත්ති පූජාව තමයි.
Pratipatti Puja is important during this time. We must also observe the Pansil and the Atasil. During this Vesak Poya, it is important to preserve those observances. We must do the right thing. It is ideal to make various offerings, and at the same time we must also support building character.
හැම දෙනාට මෙත් සිත් පෙරටුව සඳහන් කර සිටිනවා.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that solutions for the issues faced in a world that is moving forward rapidly with science and technology can be found in the teachings of Theravada Buddhism. The President made this statement while addressing online the State Vesak Festival held at the Dharmaraja Piriven Viharasthana in Matale.
The world is moving away from myths. They are focusing more and more on science. New technologies are emerging. This technology changes the way that we have lived for the past centuries, especially the medical sector and the technology sector. Space exploration and artificial intelligence are also fast-growing areas. When these areas develop further, we will face several issues. But for those who follow Theravada Buddhism and know its true meaning, these are not issues.
Although
President Wickremesinghe was to attend the State Vesak Festival in person, the President's media division said that the President was unable to attend the event due to the adverse weather. The State Vesak Festival this year is being held centering the Matale district under the theme, "Let's focus on what we have done, not what others have done." The State Vesak Festival will continue until the 27th of May. Venerable Theros from 12 countries will be attending this year's State Vesak Festival. Additionally, the issuance of a Vesak commemorative stamp, providing grants for temple development, providing grants from the Buddha Sasana Fund, providing provision letters for Dhamma schools, symbolic distribution of book sets for lay monks, and the distribution of Buduput Mapiya grant checks was also done during the event. A Vesak zone centering the Hunupitiya Gangarama temple opened this evening. The event was graced by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The Gangarama Vesak zone features lanterns, devotional songs and a pandal. The Gangarama Vesak zone is open to the public from this evening. A digital Vesak stall featured by the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka was also featured at the Gangarama Vesak zone.
Valuable Finance was awarded the Best Finance Company for the third consecutive year.
Amidst the festivities, of course, the adverse weather has also gripped Sri Lanka. The Met Department cautioned fishing communities against going out to sea due to the adverse weather and strong winds prevalent in the island. Tinal Tilakaratna brings us more on the weather.
The Department of Meteorology has issued a special weather advisory effective for 3 days till 3 p.m. on the 26th of May. Now, the warning was issued for strong winds and rough seas surrounding the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. In the light-colored areas, wind speeds will be of 40 to 50 km per hour, gusting up to 60 km per hour. These sea areas will be rough at times. In these areas, wind speeds will be of 50 to 60 km per hour and it will gust up to 70 km per hour. And as you can see, the dark areas, the wind speeds will be 60 to 70 km per hour, gusting up to 80 km per hour. The Met Department also warned that the seas in these areas will be very rough and advised naval and multi-day fishing communities not to venture into these sea areas. Now, the Met Department also requested naval and fishing communities in other areas to be vigilant.
The Met Department predicts heavy showers exceeding 150 millimeters for the Sabaragamu province and the Kandy and Nuwara districts. The heavy showers are a result of the activation of the southwestern monsoon. Showers exceeding 100 millimeters are also likely in the western, northwestern provinces as well as the Mana, Gaul and Mathura districts. The landslide warning issued to 9 districts continues to remain in effect, and the landslide warning is in effect for several divisional secretariats in the Badulla, Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kandy, Kegol, Gaul, Kurunegala and Ratnapura districts. The Colombo Municipal Council convened a media briefing today and expressed these views about large trees collapsing.
There was an incident where a tree fell across Duplication Road and 5 people were killed. After that incident, we brought in specialists and conducted a survey on all trees along the roads in the city. We identified approximately 200 trees that are at risk. We have already removed a majority of those trees. We have also taken steps to stabilize the other trees. Steps are being taken to replant trees. There is a separate program ongoing to protect the trees. There is a program ongoing to remove trees that are at risk. We have obtained the support of the State Timber Corporation and employees of the Colombo Municipal Council to remove trees that are most likely to collapse.
The number of people affected by the adverse weather currently stands at 34,099. 17,073 people in the Gampaha district have been affected by the adverse weather, which is the highest number across the country.
Cabinet spokesman Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the President informed the Cabinet that the presidential election will be held first.
The President clearly informed the Cabinet that he allocated funds through the budget for a presidential election. A presidential election must be held this year according to the Constitution. He has made it clear that he will follow the democratic system of conducting the elections as per the Constitution. We have announced at several press conferences and weekly Cabinet decision media briefings that 10 billion rupees was allocated through the budget for this purpose. Accordingly, the President informed the Cabinet that the presidential election will be held this year on the dates decided by the Elections Commission.
අයට රට ගොඩනගන්න බෑ කියලා විපක්ෂෙම සඳහන් කරනවා. ඉතින් එහෙම තීද්දී නැවත ඡන්දයකට යන එකත් තේරුමක් තියනවාද කියලා ගැටලුවකුත් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මේ අතර ජනාධිපතිවරණය නොපවත්වා ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාව සංශෝධනය කොට ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ දූර කාලය ඉදිරියට තව වසර 5ක් දීර්ඝ කර ගැනීමට යම්කිසි සූදානමක් පවතිනවද එමෙතුමනි?
කිසිසේත් නැහැ.
No. From the day he assumed office, it was clearly stated that elections will be held according to the Constitution. Funds were allocated through the budget for this purpose. According to the Constitution, a president should be elected before this year ends, and the presidential election will be held according to the fundamental law. These are only aspirations of some, but there is no such attempt. He expects to take the country forward in a democratic manner.
ඇත්තටම එමෙතුමා දැන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව විසිරවනවා.
No, he is not a member of parliament. The cabinet has not been informed of a parliament dissolution. The Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad, or the ATS, recently apprehended 4 individuals from Sri Lanka at Ahmedabad airport. These suspects, initially under suspicion of having been linked to the notorious ISIS, are also linked to various criminal activities.
4 individuals from Sri Lanka were arrested by the Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad at Ahmedabad airport on the 20th of May. According to the latest investigations, one suspect, Mohammad Nusrat, had visited India 38 times, while another suspect, Mohammad Nafran, had gone to India 40 times. 27-year-old Mohammad Nafran has been identified as a son of Niaz Naufar, alias Potter Naufar, the notorious underworld criminal who was sentenced to death for the killing of High Court Judge Sarath Ambepitiya. The other 2 Sri Lankans, Mohammad Fariz and Mohammad Rashdeen, were arrested on their debut visit to India. Indian media, The Hindu, reported that 4 Sri Lankans who were arrested belonged to the National Tawhid Jamaat organization. The Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad reported that Mohammed Nusrat was a suspect who was previously arrested for gold and drug trafficking. Indian media also reported that Mohammed Nafran had confessed to having been linked to drug smuggling during the interrogation. The Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad noted that Mohammed Rashdeen faces 3 cases against him under drug trafficking charges. Indian media, quoting officials, reported that the suspects wanted to teach a lesson to Jews, Christians and the members of the BJP and RSS. Indian police said that 4 men had been in touch with a man named Abu in Pakistan through social media. Police said after scanning their mobile phones, they found photographs of some weapons and location data of Nana Chiloda near Ahmedabad. The anti-terrorist squad later recovered 3 Pakistani pistols and 20 cartridges, as indicated in the photographs, from Nana Chiloda. The ISIS flag was also recovered, and the detained Sri Lankans disclosed that they were instructed to raise the flag after carrying out the attacks.
Now, the World Food Programme claims that food insecurity is the highest in Sri Lanka's estate sector.
The World Food Programme says that the highest level of food insecurity in Sri Lanka in 2023 were found in the estate sector at 51% of households. The World Food Programme, releasing its Household Food Security Overview 2023 report based on a panel of sample households, said that during last year, 24% of households were moderately food insecure. In 2023, the percentage of households experiencing food insecurity fluctuated, ranging from 17% around March to 24% in August to September 2023. The end of 2023 saw a decline in the proportion of households adopting coping strategies compared to the start of the year. However, their food consumption levels still remain at concerning levels and in fact got worse towards the end of the year. It added that 32% of female-headed households were food insecure compared to 23% of male-headed households. The report also noted that 26% of households were consuming an inadequate diet. It went on to claim that 42% of households were turning to food-based coping strategies, while 4 in 10 households employed at least one livelihood coping strategy. According to the Household Food Security Overview 2023 report, households were spending more than 62% of total expenditure on food.
This year's MasterChef UK champion is a person with a Sri Lankan lineage. Newsfirst Budmin Amar Divakara brings us the details.
A veterinary surgeon with a Sri Lankan heritage is a new champion of the MasterChef UK.
Our MasterChef champion 2024 is...
You can fly too close to the sun and never melt your wings, and she can't have too much of a good thing, and she can't have too much of a good thing.
Bryn.
No way. Veterinary surgeon Bryn Pirathapan has claimed the prestigious title of MasterChef Champion 2024. Triumphing at the end of the 20th series of MasterChef UK, Bryn was awarded the coveted MasterChef trophy by judges John Turod and Greg Wallace on BBC One.
For dessert, Bryn has served white chocolate and cardamom cremo with pistachio meringue shards, whiskey poached mango, raspberry gel, pistachio crumb, and a mango, lime and chili sorbet.
That is a perfect cremo, really smooth, just about holding its shape. White chocolate sweetness, yes, but cardamom headiness running through that as well. Absolutely lovely. Your shards are perfectly made. Sweet, of course, with all that sugar. My friend, the warmest of congratulations on an absolute knockout dessert.
Very rarely do I find myself speechless. It's great. Your sorbet is so creamy and rich with just mango, but it works really nice with that white chocolate. The little bits of whiskey mango across the top are inspired because you get the warmth of the peat and the warmth of the alcohol. It's a really delicious dessert.
cooking his way past 57 other culinary competitors after 8 weeks of increasingly tough challenges, Brin's high-stakes cook-off was in the final 3 against the exceptional runners-up Louis Lyons McLeod and Chris Villaboy.
Thousands marched in Iran for the final day of funeral rites for President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash earlier this week. 63-year-old Raisi died on Sunday alongside his foreign minister and 6 others when their helicopter crashed in the country's mountainous northwest while returning from a dam inauguration. Thousands of people holding placards of Raisi and waving flags marched in the eastern city of Birjand to bid him farewell. Raisi will be laid to rest at the holy shrine of Imam Reza in the city of Mashhad, where the ultra-conservative president was born. He will become the first top politician in the country to be buried at the shrine, representing a significant honor for the former leader. Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian will also be buried at the shrine of Shah Abdulazim in the town of Sharare. Iranian officials and foreign dignitaries paid their respects to the late diplomat at a Tehran ceremony before the burial.
بلند و یک صدا من میدونم فریاد دل خود شهید رئیسی شهید جمهور ما هم
News First with the people.
Sri Lanka's own Russell Arnold has been named among Cricket Australia's multicultural ambassadors.
Cricket Australia recently launched its multicultural ambassador program with 54 people from diverse backgrounds and experience across government, business, sport, media and community named as the initial representatives. Among them is Sri Lanka's very own Russell Arnold. The multicultural ambassador program provides a platform for respected and influential leaders who will advocate for inclusion and diversity. On its website, Cricket Australia said, former Sri Lankan cricketer who won 225 international caps across all 3 formats, Russell is now an international cricket commentator and level 3 high-performance coach. The father of 2 is a trustee with the Foundation of Goodness, working to bridge the gap between advantaged and disadvantaged communities in Sri Lanka, and also an ambassador for the Emerge Lanka Foundation, who work to empower survivors of child sexual abuse. Other greats in the list include Usman Khwaja, Wasim Akram, Ravi Shastri, Scott Boland, Ashton Ega, and Darren Ganga. The program brings together a network of leaders from government, business, media, cricket and the community to increase the connection and drive positive change. The ambassadors will provide leadership, insight and support for the 5 main areas of the Multicultural Action Plan, continuing to accelerate progress. The program is part of Australian cricket's strategic plan, Where the Game Grows.
Up next is the road to World Cup.
The ICC T20 World Cup.
Bangladesh all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan and India captain Rohit Sharma are set to make their 9th appearance in the ICC T20 World Cup next month in the USA and the West Indies, becoming the only cricketers to take part in every edition of the tournament. Shakib and Rohit had appeared in the maiden edition in South Africa way back in 2007.
10 days more.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1 for tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Good night.